evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another Q&A with UNCA. Tonight, we get to hear from our wonderful Office of Multicultural Affairs and from a few students who are involved in some of their programs. For those of you that I have not gotten to connect with recently, my name is Sarah Moore. I work in the Office of Admission here at UNCA, but you guys are not here to hear from me tonight. So I don't want to waste any time. We will go ahead and get started. I will let our panelists introduce themselves and jump in and just start with a little bit about the Office of Multicultural Affairs generally, and then we will jump into the questions that you guys have sent us. Feel free at any point throughout the evening to submit the questions that come up as you hear from our panelists, and we will make sure that we address those questions.
Great, thank you, Sarah. Hi, everyone. My name is Risharia. I use she, her pronouns, and I am currently the Assistant Director for the Office of Multicultural Affairs. So it's great to be here with you all tonight.
Hi, everyone. My name is Colin, and I use they, them, theirs pronouns. I am the Graduate Assistant in the Office of Multicultural Affairs.
Hello, everyone. My name is Demon Thomas, pronouns he, him, and I am the former SGA president and Sankofa RA.
Hi, everyone. My name is Elijah Jefferson. I use he, him pronouns, and I currently am the senator for the Club Sankofa, and going to be a sophomore senator for the SGA next year.
Great, thanks for introducing yourselves, pals. Just to share a little bit about our office, briefly, the Office of Multicultural Affairs, also known as OMA or OMA, really just serves as a leader on UNC Asheville's campus aimed at advancing the institutional core values of diversity and inclusion. And so we do that by offering a variety of educational and experiential opportunities, including programming, trainings, educational sessions, and just initiatives geared toward improving our campus culture and leadership development. So we work a lot with students. As you see, Demon and EJ are two awesome students that we have present with us tonight who are heavily involved in our Sankofa student organization. So our office is really involved and engaged with students across campus, and we just aim to provide support and advocacy for students in the form of trainings, sessions, programs, and just general interactions across campus. So we do have a variety of organizations and programs that our campus offers, and we can share a little bit about those, Sarah, if you'd like us to, or we can jump into questions, whichever is most convenient for you all and how you'd like the sort of the evening to flow.
Maybe if we go ahead and start with just some of the programs that you guys offer, and then we do have some specific questions about Sankofa and other kind of programming opportunities for different groups on campus. But if you want to just start with some general kind of information about what OMA does across campus for different groups, that would be great.
Wonderful. Okay. Can everyone see the screen? Great. Thank you so much. I cannot see you, so thank you to the person who put yes in the chat. All right, so we talked a little bit about our mission overall. And again, the initiatives for us are engagement, education, organizational advising, as well as institutional support. And so I'll jump into a little bit of information about our ongoing programs. And our largest programs are the Sankofa Living Learning Community and the Legacy Mentorship Program. We do have a full presentation prepared for you this evening for the Sankofa LLC and the Sankofa Student Organization. So I won't spend a lot of time on that one, but I'll talk to you a little bit about our Legacy Mentorship Program, which was designed to provide a support network for women of color on campus. We do that by providing peer mentorship, personal development, post-grad and undergrad exploration, and we have a variety of programs and initiatives that we complete and execute throughout the month and throughout the academic year. So some of our most popular programs that we hold throughout each month are our monthly Boss Up sessions, where we typically focus on skill building, knowledge gathering. A lot of times we have guest facilitators and speakers come in to provide information that may be on financial literacy or setting healthy boundaries. We do those once per month, as well as our sister circle workshops, where we gather amongst ourselves, amongst those of us in the group, and discuss things that are happening currently, how we can support one another. We typically complete some type of activity in that environment as well, but the sister circle space is one for us to just build community and come together as a group. We also offer member retreats, typically in the fall and spring. We might do on or off campus social gatherings. We have check-ins monthly, sometimes weekly. We have a actual group me that we use to communicate with one another throughout the week and throughout the month. So plenty of time to communicate and check in with one another, formally and informally. And then we also have family weekend participation and our grad brunch that we host every spring. And a part of the program, as you can see from the title, is the mentorship piece. And so we value that. We have a full process aimed at applying for and assigning mentorship groups. And so once those groups are assigned, you also have monthly mentor meetings. So it's a program that we recruit for at the beginning of each semester. So there is always space for you to get involved, and you'll hear more about the program throughout the summer, and you'll be able to apply through a Google form. Here are some photos of some of the fun that we have in Legacy. Ways for you to get involved with our office. Colin, do you want to touch base on some of these things that students can do to get involved with us?
Yeah, of course.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Oh yeah, no worries. So one of our major education programs is our sexuality and gender education training. So these typically take place in clusters. We have 3 different levels. Kind of where you go from learning basic vocabulary, some introspection on your own identities, and then learning a little bit more how to apply that knowledge in your daily life. So that's a little bit about the SAGE program, which I think we might get into a little bit later. We also have some social justice education events, whether that looks like roundtable coffee discussions or maybe some presentations from community partners, where we might talk about issues like menstrual equity or trans reproductive rights or immigration or things like that. We also have identity-based and affinity programs. I think there was a question about affinity groups. So I think we'll get to that later as well. But we do have affinity groups based on individual student identities. We also, have student employment where we focus on digital marketing, where we focus on programming. So you can always work for the Office of Multicultural Affairs, where you might be able to dig a little bit deeper into the programming that we offer. Right, and so here's a little bit more about SAGE. So SAGE is open to all faculty, staff, and students on campus. And we also are actively recruiting people who want to be involved in the program, whether that be as a facilitator or helping develop content. We're always looking for students who are really interested in doing more with sexuality and gender education. That's a little bit more about the levels of training that I mentioned earlier. And like I said, we do 2 clusters of those trainings each semester.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Colin. As Colin mentioned, you all, our campus does have a variety of affinity groups. And I think, Colin, you might have said this, someone did ask a question about specific ways that you can get involved for specific groups that are catered to culture and identity, excuse me. So we do have several affinity groups that you are welcome to be a part of. Asia Club, our Black Student Association, Hillel, our Jewish Student Association, Ola, Umoja is as an affinity group for Black men on campus, sort of like a mentorship program. Prospanica, UNCA Out, we have HEAL, Hope, Empathy, Alliance, and Love. That's a BIPOC student support group. And the beauty of all of this is if you don't see something that you're interested in here, we do have a process that you can participate in to start your own student organization on campus. We also have a trans student union, an anti-racist student organization. So there are some here that we have on campus that aren't necessarily listed here. Our office also does 2 graduate celebrations at the end of each semester. Lavender graduation, which recognizes the achievements of LGBTQIA+ students of all backgrounds, and then our Donning of the Stole celebration celebrates the diverse racial, ethnic, and cultural backgrounds of students and their achievements at UNC Asheville. So those are 2 really exciting end of semester ceremonies and celebrations that our office puts together. Someone did ask us about the protections that are in place for historically marginalized or minoritized students on campus. And that was a really great question. And so I wanted to be able to share a little bit about our bias incident reporting process that we have on campus. And so how we define bias is an act of bigotry, harassment, or intimidation, verbal, written, or physical, which is personally directed against or targets a student because of their race, age, color, disability, national or ethnic origin, political affiliation, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, pregnancy, or veteran status. So a lot of things fall under that umbrella. But to that end, we have a designated bias incident response team, which we have named BERT. And that was created to assist students who report incidents of bias on UNC Asheville's campus. And so when we think about the protections that are in place, BERT is a really big and important part of that process, because those faculty and staff members who are assigned to that team will listen to students' accounts of experiences. They'll address those concerns, they'll discuss resources, and provide both formal and informal options for moving forward. Our office, OMA, plays a significant part in supporting and advocating for students as well. But our bias incident response team is the really big go-to for student protections across campus. Colin, do you have anything that you'd like to add? Did I miss anything about BERT or about the office?
Yeah, I did want to address one of the questions now, like while we're talking about our programming. We had some people interested in learning more about some of the programming that we offer for LGBTQIA+ students. And I know we mentioned the STAGE program, which is creating allies around campus, but we do offer programming specifically for our queer and trans students as well. We do things such as a rainbow chat bi-weekly, where we have community space where we can play board games or chat or listen to queer and trans music, just have a little hangout space like that. And there's also options to collaborate with different organizations around campus where we might have, like I said earlier, like some sort of coffee hour or program where we're discussing things like trans reproductive rights. And then there's also things that are happening around campus constantly that are inclusive of all identities, such as the ACE Drag Show happening this semester as well. So there's lots of opportunities for different programming on campus that is specifically for our queer and trans students as well. And that is all I have.
Awesome. Thank you. So our office is located in the Highsmith Student Union. On the second floor, it's in the Intercultural Center. And students are welcome in that space, Highsmith 236. So you can always gather there, do homework, meet, whatever your heart desires. But we do have a physical space for you on campus. You can also reach out to any of the OMA staff members, myself and Colin included, if you would like to schedule a meeting or program of some sort. So this is just a little bit of our contact information. I will also put my email address in the chat. Colin will share theirs. So please do feel free to reach out to us if anything that you would like to inquire about doesn't get addressed in this space tonight.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. While we wait for some questions to come in through the chat from students, EJ and Demon, I would love to hear from you guys about your experience with Sankofa, and so with several of our students that we've had join our panel tonight. So if you guys can speak a little bit about your experiences and what that space is for you, I'm sure that students would love to hear it.
So I also prepared a presentation. So whenever you guys ready to review that, we can make that happen. But Sankofa for me, so I came in Sankofa. I've been in Sankofa since I was a freshman. So I did the LLC, like farm housing form. I came with 3 of my high school friends. And ever since then, without Sankofa, I don't think I would have got this far in my education, my undergrad career. From the opportunities that is provided, whether it's like being in the LLC, studying abroad, there's so many things that Sankofa has taught me, even character. Before COVID, I feel like COVID was extremely different, of course, but we traveled, we had Sankofa jams. There's a lot of community and relationship building within Sankofa, and I cannot wait to show the presentation for you all to see, like visually see the greatness of Sankofa.
So as Demon said, we do have a presentation, so I'm not going to go too in depth, but Sankofa for me is just family. It's a family, honestly, because I look at Sankofa and I see brothers and sisters, and I see people that I can go to when I'm struggling or when I just need to talk. Like, for example, I went in one of the meetings, I wasn't myself, and I wasn't feeling the best, like emotionally. And like immediately almost everyone was like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And like tried to check in with me. And I just felt like without that, college would just be way harder than it already is, because I am a minority student at a PWI. And without that like family, it's just gonna be harder for me to get through it. And I'm just grateful for that, just to have like a family away from my family.
Awesome. Well, if you guys are ready to jump in and share your presentation, I'd love to see it, and I'm sure that our participants would too.
All righty, let me share the screen. So we have, can you guys, okay, it's shared. So we have like 2 presentations, but basically, let me put my screen like that. So we have like 2 presentations of Sankofa, but unfortunately today we're going to just focus on the housing edition. So Sankofa is a club and a live and learn community. But before I go into the presentation, I want to reintroduce myself. So my name is Demon Thomas. I'm a senior here at UNC Asheville. I was the RA for Sankofa, and now I'm the vice president of Sankofa. EJ is the secretary of Sankofa. So it started out as an LLC, and then now it's grown into a club, and it's a club for BIPOC talent. And I'll get more into the talent later. Oh, so the Sankofa LLC is located in Mills Hall, 3rd floor, B side. There's a lot of requirements that come with being Sankofa. Not too many or not too harsh. You just have to attend a class, enroll in thinking for the margins. You have to participate in events. I know that I mentioned that we travel to like museums. Those will be counted as a hosted event by OMA, and you only attended those 1 per month. And then we have monthly resident hall meetings. We also held Sankofa jam sessions, as I mentioned. And I know you guys like, what is the word Sankofa? What does that mean? So Sankofa means to return, to go back and get it, to seek. So we're relearning our history, and then we're like going back to get it, and meaning like we're trying to reestablish ourselves and unite. And the Sankofa LLC is a residential community for students of color and others interested in racial justice, cross-cultural collaboration, intellectual change. Please do not let the word student of color discourage you, because we're an open community and we love all different perspectives and people. And right there is an LLC of, you see PJ, AZ, Shaija, all those cool people. They were my residents at Sankofa. So when I got to Sankofa, I was a freshman. Then I became an RA my second year, which was my sophomore year. And Rashari Keller was my community director. And ever since then, she's been my supervisor.
Beeman, I'm so sorry to.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. We can't see your screen.
You can't see my screen?
No,
I've been talking to myself all this time.
Hey, you were on the road though. You were
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Let me, okay, now I gotta find you guys. Oh, okay, so I'm back.
So the attendees, can you see his screen? Because I want to type in the chat if you can see the screen, so he knows what to fix.
I don't think I have, I don't think that I have,
Okay, they can't see it either.
oh, wow, I was just up here talking. So, can someone give me access? I thought I had access to share. Oh, man. But while we try to get that fixed, okay, you have access, okay. Okay, I'm trying to, okay. Whiteboard. How about now? Is it possible for me to share, for Rashari, can you share the LLC and I can say hit next? Because I'm
Yes,
still.
I am pulling it up for you now.
Okay, but to talk more about Sankofa, you guys, it is really, really a strong community. Okay. And then you can go to the next slide. Okay, so as I mentioned, oh, can you go back? So that's the LLC. So I was a sophomore, so I became an RA when I was a sophomore for Sankofa, and that is the cohort. That was my first cohort, and that's PJ, AZ, was in the Blue Ridge room. And basically, I was just saying on this slide that Sankofa needs to go back and get it, and that the events that we host, as far as requirements, the only requirement is you have to attend like monthly hosted events by OMA. You have to take Thinking from the Margins, and you have to participate in monthly resident hall programs. And the programs are pretty fun. So a program would be like Sankofa Jams. So if you play an instrument, you want to sing, one Sunday night, you come out and that'll be a program. Next slide. So this is the history of the LLC. So those four beautiful people you see on the screen were the first Africana professors of UNCA. And this picture was taken October 2018, my freshman year. Unfortunately, I had not had the chance to meet them, but them alongside Dr. Zinguzi, who was also the professor of Thinking of a Margin course, and community director of Mills, Robin Hamilton, introduced Sankofa. They realized that we needed a community where students of color can be safe, can hold each other accountable, and also learn together. That was very, very revolutionary, because that was my first time like being enrolled into LLC. So to know that professors in the past and current advisors made a way for us to have community is strong. So I wanted to highlight their dedication and their work of creating and developing this and executing it. And I want to say that I was a part of the first cohort, which happened in 2018. And the next slide. So the opportunities within Sankofa. So I mentioned that we have the opportunity to study abroad. So our last study abroad trip happened in 2019. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to go, but this is the picture they took. And basically you go to a school, you help out around the community And it's faculty led. So the professor, Dr. Thais Ruffin, is in the green, and Dr. Ajay Bolton is in the maroon brown. So it's a faculty led trip. You get to see historical sites. W.E. Du Bois is buried in Ghana. You get to visit that site. It's a very, how you say it, spiritual trip. And then also I wanted to mention the RA compensation. So basically when you're an RA, you have the opportunity to get paid, get discount room and board, and it enhances your leadership and program skills. I think everyone on campus should have the opportunity to take advantage of student employment as well. That's also how you network and meet people. And on next slide. So another opportunities is the internship. So through Sankofa, I had the opportunity to be an Africana intern. This past summer, I did a grant for like these STEM packets. There's a school or communities in Asheville that needed like STEM packets for young students of color. I created that, received the grant for doing that. There's a lot of student affairs and academic department opportunities. I know this semester, April 1st, we're having a BIPOC art show. So UNC Asheville has funded 9 students across from Pembroke, UNCG, North Carolina Central, A&T, and 4 are UNC Asheville students. So there's a lot of things you can do within Sankofa, especially around community building. I mentioned the trips, the museum trips, the cultural events, everything is student led. So when you are in Sankofa, you have the opportunity to lead. You have the opportunity to control. And that's, I know that's every situation as a student here at UNC Asheville. You have the opportunity, everything is student led. Community and campus outreach. We also work with community partners, whether it's Dwayne Burton in the Gardens. We try to do collaborations within like other affinity groups, such as Asia, Ola. This past semester, we had a BIPOC Advocacy Week. So we had a whole week where we highlighted people of color and their greatness. We also had a mixer. That was our first time having a BIPOC mixer. So all the organizations came together to celebrate, us, and that was pretty fun. And there's a lot of event collaboration. Next slide. So I just want to introduce you guys to my co-RA. Unfortunately, she could not make it tonight, but she is now the new SGA president. So I want to applaud her. But this is the timeline of the RA position and LLC residents. So my first RA was Tia Foster. We had 9 residents. When I became an RA in Lauren, we had 8. Now it has like shrunken, but it's gonna grow. I feel like a lot of people were confused. At first it's just for first year students, and now we're opening it to the bridge the community. So those numbers will improve. And that was move-in day, August 19th. That was a fun day, fun semester, fun year. We love Rasharia. Next slide. So who are our advisors of Sankofa? So we have Dr. Ruffin, as I mentioned, Dr. Jismin Zinguzi, Dr. Ajay Bolton, Megan Pugh, Rashari Keller, Amina Batata, Luke Givens. So when you are in Sankofa, you don't think that, oh, you're alone, that you have no support system. I know you have your peers, but you also have your advisors. These are a mixture of professors, directors. So please take advantage of your staff. Next slide. And these are the leaders of Sankofa. So these leaders are, they have different titles around the campus. So they're in Sankofa, Umoja, Legacy, SGA, Africana. I'm pretty sure, I think all of us are Africana minors on this slide, which is pretty cool. If you have any concerns or questions, Sarah is the president, EJ is the secretary, I am the vice president, Cameron is the president of Umoja, Grace is the treasurer of Sankofa, Thomas is the vice president of, I think, BSA, and then Miracle is the Africana intern, and Lauren is the advisor, well, the leader of basically SGA, Sankofa. So there's a lot of student involvement, a lot of hands-on. We all meet together to plan events. That's why it's good to be student-led, because we all put our minds together and we say, hey, that's what we needed to do for our community. And do you have any questions? And then I have a last slide, but I can talk a little bit about the slide if you guys don't have questions yet. But when you're RA, I just want to highlight housing real quick. Basically, so that slide right there, just a little quick, we did exercise building. So also, I just want to talk about the community within all departments as well. So with housing, we usually go on a trip where all the RAs go and we tube. So that's another cool opportunity to network and meet people within your community or outside your community. And then for my last slide, I just want to say thank you. Another cool thing about Sankofa and being an RA is the decorating the board decorating. So you get to decorate boards and you get to really highlight your creativity. And I feel like that was my funnest thing about being an RA, was decorating the board and really highlighting BIPOC talent and people. And that's all that I have. And then EJ, if you want to talk more about the club of Sankofa, I didn't really touch on that too much. I wanted to save that for you.
Yes, so the Club Sankofa, we originated in 2020. Was it? We actually originated last year at the end of the year, right? So 2021 going into 2022 strong. So we're led by Sarah Valdez, who is the best person I know, honestly. Sarah is amazing. So I feel Sankofa, like I said earlier, a family. We meet every week at 7 sometimes, and we're not all about just having fun. We have fun a lot of the times, but sometimes we meet, we do homework, we do a lot of study halls, and we also do a lot of just talking throughout each other, and we just talk about our problems and what we're going through, because we know that if we don't have each other, we don't have anyone at this school. So, and then as Demon said, our advisors, they're the best staff in the school. Rasharia, she's right there. Rasharia is amazing. Dr. Ruffin, amazing. Dr. Zinguzi, hilarious and amazing. Dr. Bolton, amazing. Megan Pugh, amazing. I haven't got the chance to meet the other two, but as you can see, they're probably amazing too, you know? So, I mean, everyone's amazing. Everyone knows you too. That's one thing. In a lot of clubs, people, they just know you from coming in. If you ask me right now, I can name every single person that has ever been to a Sankofa meeting. And I'm pretty sure if you ask Demon, he can name it too. We name everyone that's there. We know everyone. We know what building everyone stays in. We're all a family, honestly. Everyone knows each other. Everyone loves each other. It doesn't matter. I just think Sankofa, I'm done talking. If you come next year, come to Sankofa. You'll see what we're about, honestly, though.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. How hard is it to get involved with Sankofa or any of the other affinity groups that are on campus? What does a student have to do to join?
Honestly, I'm gonna tell you a story. I'm a freshman. So second week of school, I'm going to BYOB to get food. I see Demon. I like didn't know him, but I knew he was the SGA president. He came up to me, he said, "Hey, are you involved?" I was like, nah, I really just got." He was like, "Come on out." And ever since that day, I've been involved. It's just like, all you got to do is really talk to people. If that person that you're talking to doesn't know the information, they know someone that can give you every single bit of information that you need. So I think it's just really talking, and we do a lot of advertising. So just be on the lookout for that as well.
Colin, it looks like we have a question about whether or not it's as easy to get involved with some of those LGBTQIA plus affinity spaces. Is it the same? You just come as you are and join and get involved? Is there an application process?
Yeah, so there's no application process. One of the great things about our advertising at UNCA is you can see what's happening along the digital screens in the student union. Everything is posted on our social media. If we are holding some sort of community drop-in, you're free to come for however long you want, whenever you'd like, drop in, say hi, ask questions if you need it, whatever you need in that general space. But no, there's no application process. And if you were interested in getting involved in one of the affinity groups like Trans Student Union or UNCA Out, they tend to hold different interest meetings at the beginning of the semester. So you would just drop into one of those meetings, get a little bit more information, meet some folks, And then you just kind of start showing up to meetings and getting involved that way. So there's no like formal application process, and it's pretty easy to meet them, and they're always welcome. They always want you to be there. Yeah, of course.
While we wait and see if there are any other questions, I'll ask our student panelists again, what if you had to pick one specific memory or experience as part of your involvement with the Office of Multicultural Affairs? Can you identify one or two things that really stick out in your mind as being favorites?
For me, I'll say that my favorites was meeting Megan and Luke for the first time, and Robin. So I came once I got accepted to Asheville. I did like 2 more campus visits just to get the feel. And I was sitting in, they changed the room name, but I was sitting in a building or a classroom, sort of say, and my high school teacher, she went to app with Luke. So they were catching up, and they were like, everyone was just like sitting, mind you, it was me and 2 of my classmates from high school. And they're just asking us questions about Sankofa. Like, what are we like what we expect to, I guess, add a Sankofa. They're real intimate, and I don't know, like we all took pictures. It felt like I needed to be in Asheville because of how welcoming, and I was still in high school at the time. So I was like, I cannot wait to go to Asheville. I have people already saying they're going to support me and make sure I succeed, which has been true and executed. So I think that's my favorite memory, was meeting them for the first time when I was a high school senior.
A lot of memories. I'm just a freshman. My favorite memory about the Office of Multicultural Affairs, I think right now it would be the BIPOC mixer we had last semester, because it was just amazing to see everyone just come together. Yeah, Demon, you forgot about that. Yeah. So it was just amazing to see everyone come together, and it wasn't just the Black population. We had Asia there. We had the Asian club. There was the LGBTQ plus. Their club was there. Everyone was there, and it was just amazing to see how we all were there for each other. I met so many new people, so many seniors and upperclassmen that were more involved, and it led me to have more involvement in the community because I got closer to a lot of the faculty members that I needed for my success this year. So I just think that was amazing. And then the dance circle was amazing. Demon kind of broke out some moves on us. Didn't expect it. It was pretty good. Next time we need Rasharia to dance though. That's on the bucket list.
Also, I want to touch on the LGBTQ plus AI involvement. So when I like to say that representation is important. So what I mean by that is, even though you may identify with a certain group, you can use your representation is needed everywhere. So for example, I'm going to talk about SGA. So within SGA, there's a lot of different groups of people, and within student government, you use your platform and your passion to create opportunities for the students that come after you. And I just want to highlight how we are in the process of trying to continue maybe another LGBTQ plus mixer. We are open to, I don't know if you guys don't know about the club period, but basically we're trying to get menstrual products in every bathroom. We're focusing on all gender restrooms. So there's a lot of things that this campus, I'll say Asheville is very, very, I feel like more progressive than a lot of institutions, especially being president and hearing the backlash that many other institutions get for just their identity. I feel like we as a UNC system is very, very ahead of the game, and we should take pride. Well, we do take pride, I feel like, in our differences. So I just want to highlight how when you come to Asheville, no matter what your identity is, you have the opportunity to be free. You have the opportunity to create community. No one looks at you crazy, and you actually get to like find yourself, if that makes sense. You get to find not only your career, but your community, your passions. and you can actually bring it to life for us, like with events or networking. Just wanted to highlight that.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Rasharia, Colin is, oh, just kidding. We got another question. Are there specific people on campus that make good allies? And where are the sources of support and the instances of community that you can kind of identify and let prospective students know where they can go kind of as a first point of contact on campus?
I would say student government. Student government is going to be your first ally. We advocate for the student body, students only. When there's an issue regarding COVID, academics, accessibility, sustainability, you go to your president and you let them know, hey, how do I get involved? How can we solve this issue? Your first bet is the student body, student government, because they can connect you. And there's also different people within the club that has connections and can relate to an interest that you bring up.
I thought I was gonna steal Demon answer. He surprised me with that one. I thought Demon was gonna say the Africana department. The Africana department is the best department to me because those three, Dr. Ruffin, Dr. B, and Dr. Zinguzi, I go to them literally I have a class with Dr. Z now, and it starts at 2:00, and I'm usually in the building at like 1:30, and I just do a sweep. I start at the back at Dr. B's room. I go past Dr. Ruffin, and then I go see Dr. Z before class. He'd be like, I don't want to see you in 20 minutes. I'll be like, yep. I still had to check in. So it's just like, I think it's just that community piece. And then it was like one time I was late to class. It was like 5 minutes late, and my phone was ringing while I was walking to class. It was Dr. Z. He was like, where are you? Why are you not in class? And I just feel like, no, it's not a lot of teachers that's going to do that for you. A lot of teachers here, it's like when you get to college, you're an adult. Some teachers, if you don't come to class, that's on you. But him calling me and saying, where am I? And saying, am I coming to class, and making sure I was okay, that just really stuck with me. And I haven't been late to his class since he did that. And it's just like, that just hit my heart, because I was like, oh, okay, he really cares. And I always thought I was just like a number in his class, because it's college, it's thousands of students. I was like, okay, no, they don't know me, I'm just here. But when he called, I was like, okay, he really knows I'm in there, he really cares.
Rasharia, Colin, are there people that you work with that might be good resources for incoming students as well?
Absolutely. Well, I have to obviously shout out our office, the Office of Multicultural Affairs. I feel like we do a lot to make sure that we are able to advocate successfully for students. I think sometimes there is this sort of stigma that the Office of Multicultural Affairs is only a support system for students of color or for LGBTQIA+ identifying students. But one thing that we want you to know is that we are advocates for all students on UNC Asheville's campus. We want to see all students succeed, and we'll do what we can to support any and all students. So shameless plug there, come to us at OMA. We want to support you. I would say for incoming students specifically, the Office of Student Transitions and Family Programs, headed by Sarah Smith, the director. Abby Genter is the associate director for the office. So two really, really awesome colleagues who are also dedicated to supporting students as they transition into the collegiate environment, and can also really be resources that can connect you to other resources on and around campus. As a part of their office too, there are orientation mentors who do sort of the same type of work, familiarizing you all with our campus and providing you with the information that you need to be able to reach out to specific resources in specific areas, both on and around our campus. So I would say student transitions and family programs is a really great starting place, specifically for incoming students.
Yeah, and I would just add, you might be surprised where you find someone who is going to be one of your biggest allies or mentors or things of that nature. Like you might not be expecting to walk into like a service learning event and find a mentor in the person who's leading it. So you never know where you might find those individuals, and they're all over campus. So whether it be stopping into the Academic Success Center to meet with your advisor or your RA or anyone in your residence halls, things like that, like you might be surprised. You might be looking for something in one place and find it in the other. So there's lots of opportunities.
Awesome, great point. I will wait just a couple more minutes while I throw in some closing remarks. Is there anything that you guys want to make sure that you leave these students with as they continue to kind of consider UNC Asheville?
Yes, I do. I do. I like to say that take advantage of your college opportunities and resources. You only get one, I mean, you can stay in college as long as you want, but you only get one undergrad career. And make sure you take advantage, network, socialize. I know COVID has taught us that communicating in person has been hard, but there's still virtual events. There's still like ways of different communication. So really take advantage of your college experience and enjoy.
I would say the same thing as Demon. Just get out there, because I think college is what you make it. Honestly, if you just go to class, then go to your room and go eat, college, it's not gonna. You're not gonna enjoy it. To be honest, like for me, my days are packed because I pack them because I do stuff I want to do. Like on Mondays, I'm kind of free. Tuesdays, I have BSA in Emoja. Wednesdays, I have Sankofa. Then like the rest of the week I work. So I think it's just like college is really what you make it. If you don't get out there, then you're not going to do anything. And the more you get out there, the more people you meet. I have people now that that I love, and I look at them as family that I never would have thought I would hang with and never thought I would be cool with at first. Like, for example, Demon. I didn't think I would be cool with Demon at first. When he came to me and was like, go to these events, I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I just got here. I'm like, I ain't like him. He gonna be annoying president. But then I started to get to know him. I'm like, I like this guy. This guy right here is amazing. And I wish he was here for another semester, but he got to graduate, so it's whatever. I still got Rashard, so it's okay.
I can go ahead and address this question that came in real quick. I'll do the first part, and then Rashari, maybe you can touch on the second part of the question about housing.
I can't see it, Colin. If you'll read it to me, I'm happy to address it.
Sure, I'll talk about the first part. The second part is asking about dorm opportunities for LGBT students. I'm nervous about finding and accepting roomie. So I'll address the first part about UNCA being an open campus and being comfortable openly representing yourself. So as a non-binary, trans-masculine, queer and trans person working on the campus, I feel so comforted constantly by everyone accepting my identity. I never have any issues with the dreaded bathroom situation. There's plenty of gender neutral bathrooms around campus. UNCA also has a preferred name policy, so you're easily able to go in yourself and change your preferred name in the system to represent the name that you would like to be called, as well as personal pronouns can be added. You can see our personal pronouns are in all of our Zoom meetings and our email signatures, very accepting of that. As far as like gender expression, I think that you will be pleasantly surprised by the amount of expression that you see walking all over campus at UNCA, and especially in the Asheville community as a whole. It's very queer and trans friendly in my personal opinion. And I've really never ran into situations where someone is actively misgendering me, being rude about gender, or just generally non-understanding about gender identity and expression.
Also, I found the Q&A box, Colin. I can see it now. Thank you for reading it to me, though. Yes. And thank you for so eloquently addressing that. Regarding housing, we do have sort of a survey style housing selection process where all students who are registered to select housing within our residential communities on campus will be able to go in and ensure sort of a profile about themselves regarding all of their preferences, their likes and dislikes, where they would like to live on campus, whom they would like to live with, all of those things. And so we do have that process in place. We also have a really great residential education staff on campus. I can say that because I'm also part of that staff. But we do have a really great housing staff on campus that you can reach out to. We have an email address, which I will type in the chat for everyone, as well as a phone line where you can call and ask questions to our housing employees if something isn't going your way, or if you're finding yourself confused or not really comfortable with the housing selection process. But I say all of that to say, yes, there are certain surveys and assessment pieces that we use to help you to decide who might make the best match for you as a roommate or suite mates. Hopefully that answers your question. If not, I'm happy to provide clarification where necessary.
And I just wanted to add too that my email is open, it's in the chat. So if you ever have specific questions about your gender identity as it relates to UNC Asheville, feel free to send me an email. I'm always happy to chat about it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I hope that our participants have found this as helpful and informative as I have, just being able to listen to students and staff across campus who are ready to welcome you with open arms and help you get connected to places on campus that will help you grow and thrive at UNC Asheville. If there is nothing else, I will let everybody go a couple minutes early. I will leave our students with a couple reminders. We have another Q&A with the Career Center on Thursday at 7. That registration link is available online. You're also welcome to reach out to me or to your counselor, and we will be happy to help you kind of get connected with that. We're doing as much as we can virtually, but we're also back to having students on campus in person. So hopefully you'll be able to see any one of our panelists across campus either this Saturday at one of our admitted student days or in April in a couple weeks, or just that you'll be able to come to campus for a tour. We are so excited that you guys are continuing to explore UNC Asheville. Please reach out to us with questions. Let us know how we can help you feel connected to the campus community. And we hope to see you in person on campus very soon. Thanks so much again to our panelists and to our participants. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.
I say